I was too young to ask all these questions, but my mum never avoided answering them. Even when my questions seemed silly, she always spoke to me with patience and love. I remember sitting in our small home, the sunlight softly spilling through the window, while she gently explained things I couldn't yet understand. Growing up in Addis Ababa, I started noticing the world around me, wondering about life, people, and my place in it. Hey, I'm Veronica, by the way. I'm from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and these are the memories that shaped me. Since I was a little girl, my mum would take me to church. I loved it. The way the candles glowed, the quiet prayers, the golden light filling the space. I would look up in wonder, imagining heaven itself, angels flying above soft clouds, their wings glimmering in the sunlight. I often asked myself, what must it be like to be up there? But life wasn't always light and wonder. Sometimes my heart ached in ways I didn't understand. I would sit alone, feeling completely different from everyone else, the rain tapping against the window as my sadness lingered. Life threw challenges my way, moments that tested my faith and my strength. Through it all, I learned something important. Life is unpredictable. Every moment is precious, and we never truly know when our time will come. So we must cherish it, pray, and hold on to hope, even when things seem impossible. And that hope, that's what led me to begin my journey. I walked toward a mysterious fountain I had imagined, bathed in spiritual light and mist, a symbol of healing and new beginnings. And I was changed by the journey. I was healed. I was stronger. And now, I'm ready to share my story with the world. It started on November 20th, a normal night, or at least I thought it was. I was sitting on the couch, half paying attention to the TV, until something made me stop. On the screen, there were people, tied helpless, and in the center, a fountain. Not just any fountain. It looked like crystal. The water began to rise, slowly, silently, then faster, until it covered them. Some of them started shaking violently, others completely still, like their souls had already left. And then I heard it, a horse, loud, terrifying, echoing like it wasn't from this world. My heart started racing, but I couldn't look away. They began throwing water on them, desperately, like they were trying to wake the dead. And then they woke up, gasping, crying. Some were laughing, others were thanking God. I sat there frozen. I didn't understand what I had just seen, but I knew one thing. This was not normal. Then a woman stepped forward. Her voice was shaking, but her eyes had seen something beyond this world. She said when the water touched her, her soul left her body. She was flying. She was flying on the sky. No wings, just floating, in a place filled with light, peace, and something she couldn't explain. And then she saw him, her brother dead for years, standing right in front of her, smiling alive. She said she didn't want to come back. Then she looked beside him, and even though she couldn't see clearly, she knew it was the Virgin Mary. When she returned to her body, she cried, because heaven felt more real than earth. And then she said something that changed everything for me. I know people won't believe me, but if you come here, you'll understand. That night, I couldn't sleep. The next day, I searched for it. That place, that fountain. It was far too far, but I couldn't let it go. It was in my mind, in my dreams, in my prayers. I begged God, take me there. And then, 3 days later, my mum got a call. There was a bus going to that place. In that moment, I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel doubt. I knew this wasn't coincidence. This was my calling. And that was the beginning of everything. On the chilly morning of November 25th, my aunt's call brought a flood of excitement into our household. She spoke hurriedly, her voice trembling with anticipation as she said there was a bus heading to a mysterious, enchanting place. My mum looked at me. her eyes shining with a mixture of surprise and resolve, and said gently, "Yes, we're going. Just buy the tickets." That moment felt like destiny. I ran to her, kissed her hands reverently, and suddenly knew this was the place I had been dreaming about. I was ecstatic, so grateful, feeling like God had finally answered my prayer. That night, I packed my things, helped my little sisters, and knelt beside my bed to pray, thanking God for this chance. I tried to sleep, but my excitement kept me awake, and when my alarm rang, I jumped out of bed immediately. There was no hesitation, I was ready. We got a cab to the bus station and waited for the bus. When it arrived, we all stood up together and prayed for a safe journey. The road was long, hot, dusty, exhausting, but no one complained. People sang gospel songs, shared testimonies, and somehow the faith of everyone around me made the journey lighter. Even when the bus broke down or we were tired and hungry, we kept going. Faith was keeping us moving. Late that night, we reached a church and slept on the ground, cold, uncomfortable, but too exhausted to care. The next morning we continued. At one point, the bus couldn't go any further, so we had to walk. People were worried, but I wasn't. I knew we were getting closer. We crossed a small river, rode in smaller cars, and finally, in the middle of the night, we arrived at a quiet, mysterious place surrounded by trees full of strangers, but somehow it felt like I belonged. I knew then this journey wasn't just a trip, it was something much bigger.